with Aaron Carpenter and Bob Jelnick.
Good evening. Striking social services workers met face-to-face with the Premier today, confronting Don Getty at Government House. They were hoping the Premier might listen to their concerns, but Getty said he wouldn't talk to them as long as they were out on strike. As Rick Boguski reports, tomorrow the social workers will be back in court, this time facing contempt charges.
It's getting a lot tougher for Jerry Dick to fill her kids' lunchboxes. She's a social worker on an illegal strike, but explaining the money problems to her kids is a lot easier than explaining the nightly news.
Well, my 10-year-old son was watching this newscast at 6 o'clock, and he turned to me and he says, "Are you a criminal now?" And I said, "No." And he says, "Well, how come Mr. Getty's saying you're criminals?" And he says, "Does that mean you're going to go to jail?" Well, from that day on, my kids have lived in fear.
The fear is that one day Jerry Dick will be called before a judge. It's already happened to 20 striking social services workers, people like Sandra Azaker.
You know, as a social worker, I feel sad that we're being penalized for trying to do something for our clients, and it makes me really sad.
I'm concerned about this, and I'm getting caught.
More than 100 strikers joined Azaker on the picket line again today, marching through downtown Edmonton, hoping to gather public support.
Well, government's given themselves a raise. Why can't they have theirs?
What about the caseload issue? They say they're overworked, that they just can't handle all the clients.
Well, I believe them.
In my opinion, they got to go back to the bargaining table, because the government is stronger and they can last longer than they can, right? They're families. They have to feed and house their family.
The government is not nearly as sympathetic. Striking workers shouted at the Premier this morning, demanding that he stop and talk. When he did, Getty didn't change his stand.
Listen, you folks, I really want to help you, and I will help you. But the only way I can do it is if you return to your jobs, and I guarantee you that we'll be able to sign a good contract and quickly.
We don't trust you anymore.
17 days. That's how long these people have been on strike, each day coming here to the legislature. And even with the threat of contempt of court charges, risking fines, even jail, the strikers have vowed not to give in, not until the government agrees to lower their caseloads, the central issue in this dispute. But Jerry Dick is getting tired of reading about the strike on the front pages of the newspaper. Now she's combing the back section looking for a part-time job. She figures getting a new contract could take a while, and she knows it's just a matter of time before she faces contempt of court charges too. Rick Boguski, CBC News, Edmonton.